hell, it's various ways recorded how the agencies are being used remotely in the courts, fabricating transcripts and then showing these they have to cover that up as their collusion/s motivations with all natures of crime scenes and through administrations. So there are more World Trade Center predicate acts, two fake transcripts about that. WFSB, Fox Connecticut News, and WTNH and their sources, and the intelligence next to their locations are recording, confessing, demonstrating, confirming through administrations. They have multiple FBI directors. From before and then as former director of the FBI, Robert Luskin, his co-defendants and their family members are increasingly with Connecticut mayors and their families and intimate ties and other conjunctions to them, like neighbors and building, like the. In other words, it's manifest that way because of how a hyper foreign has been using everyone remotely, criminally foreign influence, tactically delusions raw, and pretending other. And then you need to screen that in the future, so screening the breaching method too. This is why and how they are worse than criminal incompetence regarding what our founders communicated actually about how the breaching method reassigned what nature communicates and what our founders communicated with black people as whites of eyes. You guys have the nature debate with the nature of experts A through Z, covering up how they've been using the campuses A through Z. For example, they're replacing our founders directed us to understand clear the reason that we only know one name, the name of one founder. They did not have the security to tell us any more names than one. James Madison is the only American founder that we know the name of. And we know that he did not have free speech during his lifetime. They had to have this declassified for themselves. Why and how they didn't have free speech. These things appear to be debatable. And it's gotten away with because of how the campuses are being and have been used remotely, criminally foreign influence. A principal being reportedly upskirt nature with the shopping centers. I've recorded him involved with other natures of organized crimes and people with the shopping centers. And these are not legitimately their roles with military, like people tied to the name and as the name. I forgot Burstein and Cololo and DeMoro. They have roles also with confessions tied to the name Napolitano and someone with the name Aaron. I never had a conversation with him. I don't know the Aaron tied to a Joe DeMoro. And his educators. These are people doing tricks, putting fake transcripts in campuses of all ages and natures as predicate acts roles. And Trey Gowdy has been speaking about statute of limitations. They're leaving out their ongoing extortion and predicate acts methods and what their actually recorded value, communications value is. Weathersfield Police with other police departments are recorded threatening me not to say anything about what I caught them doing and who I caught them doing it with, interstates. They don't even know the extent of it. They use that truth for lies. So a bunch of people with the name Scalora, too, are interstates involved next to the World Trade Center with names at the World Trade Center and the court next to it. And all sides of a case in that court that day. Attached also by others not even knowing to fake transcripts. There are mass fake transcripts and databases. You guys, pay attention, black pupils, whites of eyes, how they left out what nature communicates with this and what our founders communicated about it. And they have it replaced. Not one has traced. So they play game wire crime maxim methods. They put fake phone transcripts. So you can't call the news and they change and fake what's there. And then they pretend, oh, well, that's the meaning of the statutes here. It's online. It doesn't matter. No, you guys are leaving out exceptions, exception nature. You guys have recorded yourselves offensively confessing that no one could go to the police department and have it without them hiding their collusion. I didn't even go there, and they faked me going there. Fake transcripts at Weathersfield Police when I was a kid, and now as an adult, like with these Mendez police brothers involved with New Britain Superior Court, Weathersfield Police Department with fake transcripts, fake identity theft, fraud, slanders, uses of the right to lie where they don't have the right to lie. You guys should fear God to hide and plot. Get me off fake conversations with WFSB at the World Trade Center attack. They're one of the ones with foreign and domestic military involved with the World Trade Center attack. Connecticut's Channel 3 News, WFSB. These are those same names involved with the difference of their guilt, of their intelligence there, or the intelligence families next to them through time since I was a kid. These are increasingly people involved with identity theft, fraud, slanders. You guys have criminal. They already know the breaching method showed them they used words like statute of limitations, criminally foreign influence. These are the ones lying before Congress. Get them on paper, one name and sequence. Please, Trey Gowdy, do this right. Put me off the fake conversations that with the people. With WF, Fox Connecticut News sources have collusions with this and with co-defendants of and the family members of former director of the FBI, Robert Luskin, and people associated with them like Mendez Police, and one's named Domain, and Allison Mulcahy and her family and neighbors, and which is also a former Mayor Gold. Per them, I never had a word of conversation with Allison Mulcahy. I never had a class with her, never saw him inside of a school. She's increasingly involved with a domain, also with Jewish themed and interreligious themed nutbags involved with that, with sequence shifts, federal evidences crimes, and spots next to Fox Connecticut News as collusions with people also next to the other agencies. And next to WTNH is the FBI. They have collusions with their sources along Route 175 in Connecticut. That goes by the state judicial branch offices of Route 3 too. I mean, but Route 175 from the old Wethersfield founding locations and conjunctions to it. All kinds of identity theft, fraud, slanders. How they use the human differences remotely, criminally foreign influence. All these things are recorded, but you guys don't follow mandated law. Get me off the fake conversations about the World Trade Center attack, too. WFSB pretended, well, I caught the news forcing child abusers, leaders, and kids years apart in the methods and other natures of organized crimes that they have roles with that motivated that. And then pretending there are people with the name O'Neill who have identity. I never met them, had a conversation with them in my life. O'Neill and their kids, they're a teacher with West Harbor campuses with intelligence families, also with their kids from Wethersfield campuses involved with more sexual and medical offenders of kids, little fake punks, and whiting forensics increasingly with people named O'Neill involved. Please get them on paper, one name and sequence, Trey Gowdy. You guys are offensively preventing mandated law and have the audacity to speak about statute of limitations. Get them on paper with the interbranch switching names, little cowards.